For anyone interested in XRP, the question of how high can XRP go in this market cycle, the wave cycle, it's an important question. Every one of us is trying to figure out what the possibilities are. Whether that's a micro breakout, whether that's a short to medium term breakout, whether that's a long term range, which we are looking at, the macro. We are all looking at different triangles. For sure, this asset shows you that. But it also shows us on a macro monthly chart, there is another possibility which is evolving. So we do have to anchor our expectations based on different things. Now, why are we talking about this right now? When a lot of other assets are moving up and XRP is not, you would really have that question. And that's genuine. I agree, that's a genuine question. But look at this. This is XRP to Bitcoin on a monthly. Historically, each and every time you visited this range, price has moved up. Whether that's the 2021 rally, whether that's the 2017 rally, whether that's 2015. We started all of them at this range. For some reason, it seems like we are dropping back to that range. So while Bitcoin move up, we can still expect XRP to perform nothing, right? If you take the same angle into Ether, you get something similar. But yes, the overall understanding of the market, what the market is doing, and why all of these assets are breaking higher, hitting those targets, that's an important thing to keep in mind. Why is that really happening, right? To answer those questions, for sure, we'll have to go look at multiple charts and ask ourselves, okay, what do you really see here? What can you really understand at this point? Yes, there are a lot of opportunities. This is earlier today where we went through that. But the question is, are you ready to go through things like this? Because not a lot of people break things down like this. But as we jump into this and we break things down in an easier manner so that we get an advantage in the market, we should also realize this market is with millions of participants. So to get that edge, we should be on the top 5%. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. While we look through a lot of this, we understand like SIA, it's been running up crazy, hitting all those targets. We had our call saying, guys, take the profits, jump out 24 hours ago. Then right now you go into the market, you see that's down 50%. So that was kind of a spot on call saying, guys, take your profits. We had our thought process on that asset. We were writing it from the downside based on our targets, based on our calls. Most of them should be around 200%, 175% profits. That's why I was saying, okay, just give me your profits, take your profits, right? Now in the market, you do see a lot of other assets bursting higher. That's opportunity zone. That's a huge opportunity zone. And we are watching, say, different assets going through and hitting through our target. So if you like to take benefit of all of these charts and ideas and learning in the SI family, you can join the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. And if you like the new logo here for the Scientific Investor family, hit that like button on this. I would appreciate it a lot. Now, if you receive value from this video, smash that like button. Now, this is XRP. This is a 3-day chart of XRP. We're trying to look at like, okay, what can we really see? What are the different odds which we are talking about? This is something we would like to see as Bitcoin grind higher. Yes, that's a short-term target. You're talking about just $1.12. Not a lot of people would be happy about that. But again, that's a short-term target. If you are like, okay, fine, I'm not taking profits at those levels, what should I look for? If that's your question, look for $4.40. Now, automatically, that means $3.8, $3.3, depending on which exchanges you are in, your all-time highs comes in there. Perfect. Which means you should be thinking about taking profit close to the all-time highs when you enter the price discovery and wherever your volume peaks, that's an important thing to look at. And this is not short term. This is short to medium term target. This is not micro or short term. So you should be starting to anchor your expectation. Like, okay, I should be in any way, I should be taking profits by these levels. Not entirely. Scaling up. These are your targets. Now, what's the upper possibility? Like, this has been a strong support level for an extended period of time, going back to 2020, going back to 2017, 2015. It shows you that support turned into a resistance, then support, then support, then support from an extended period of time. So that is a macro trend line, resistance and support, which is valid. Great. Fine. We understand that. Now, if you're like, okay, that's a little bit too much. I'm not looking for 35. I would like to look at what are the other possibilities. If that's you, you're looking at this. This is a monthly chart. It shows you, okay, the first target should be 1.67, then 5.28, then $20. That's okay. That's not a bad deal, even if you're taking in between 5 to 20. Say your average ends up somewhere around 16. Perfect. If your dollar cost average in this asset is below the current price, which most of us would have, that's a huge deal. You're literally riding the market for 30x. That's not a small thing. Now, obviously, XRP is an asset in this market and money flow rotates in segment to segment to segment. So when will that enter payments? We're watching some of these earlier payment tokens which are moving higher just based on the history. But you do have this Ether showing XRP should come down a little bit more, not like, a gigantic 60-70% drop. This shows you a possible 20-25% drop against Ether, right? So you have another 15-20% drop against Bitcoin. Or in other words, you'll actually watch Bitcoin starting to grind higher, XRP doing nothing. So on a daily chart, Bitcoin shows you that with less volume, the price was bigger. The bullish candle, the size of that was heavy. That's good. That's great. Now, when you actually zoom in a little bit to see, okay, what's happening in that range? You're like, that's a bull flag formation coming in. We're trying to break that local lows. So you are trying to come back up to test this $52,000 mark. Okay, fine. We understand that. In 24 hours, we're going to get the weekly candle close. We are all waiting to see whether we confirm this. Whether we confirm this as a pattern. This is super important for each and every one of us. Yes, that doesn't mean the price will not go higher from that point, because historically we have seen that the price has gone higher. Another $10,000 from there is not a small deal. And the altcoins does follow that. Remember, when you're talking about all this and you're looking at the market, this is Ether. It's right now at $3,000 plus. And in this cycle, that's the highest we have been. So you go back in day to see when we were there. That was almost 650 days back. And, that range was something which was a local support after we made the top. So that $5,000 towards the drop of 2,700, this was the range. Now we are going higher. On a weekly, you're watching the RSI entering overbought territory. That's where the real price action, the real momentum, the real burst, all of that happens here. So we are now entering that territory, but yeah, for sure, you'll still see people saying, nope, we're going down. But that's completely up to you who to listen to. Now, on the XRP daily, we have a pattern here, which is a micro pattern again, where the macro, remember the macro cup and handle, now agrees with the micro cup and handle. So what are we looking at for this micro movement? Not even a short term, a micro. That's a 15% move. After your breakout, that takes you close to 0.63. Fine. Remember, in last 2-3 videos, we were discussing about this 0.53 range. So much so, saying that's a support, we need to see the price bouncing from there. And eventually what happened, by the time the candle closed, the daily candle closed, you got a bullish engulfing candle formation just from there. That's good. I mean, that's heavily positive because we're already watching that the payment segments like this is breaking through a key range, entering the overbought territory. So there's a lot of this happening where your measure move look like this. It gets extended to the upside. The altcoin market is showing you all this. Interesting, right? You broke higher, you retested, you bounced. You're making a local high, consolidating there. And the next leg like this, a lot of people who are right now on the sidelines, they're going to jump into the market. Right now, we are at $2 trillion, and you're literally watching $30 billion on the sidelines. Now, that 30 billion coming into the market can add 500 billion in market cap, because that's how the market cap works, right? That means people would look at this, okay, that was 1 trillion few months back. Now it's 2 trillion. It's popping towards 2.5 trillion. The thought process just goes from the fear to greed, the FOMO immediately. And that's where a lot of these opportunities will evolve in front of you. Whether you are in the first 100, whether you are in the second 100, it doesn't matter. While you are looking for all this to play out in XRP, and you're watching a lot of these coins run up, you're like, I'm missing opportunities. No, you're not. If you're in the SI family, you're getting all of these calls at the right time to see where you should be taking profits, where the breakout is, what assets are looking bad, and which of them are looking great. If that's you, I would say learn as much as possible with the SI family. Now, going back into the market, look at the volume. Some of these coins are now having a lot of volume. If you follow them from last couple of days, you're watching some of these assets, their volume is increasing. Say Cello, what was that? 25, 30 million? Now it's at 75 million in a week. That's a big increase. And the side is dominated by buying. It's 10.29 million in buy, whereas the sell side is 9.54. So you're watching something happening in the market. One side is dominating, not in all assets, agreed, but you need to select all of those. You need to spend the time, go through the market, find those assets, and ride it. That's not that difficult. It's possible. The market is showing you that possibility. Say, look at this. This is another one. 15 million in buy and 13 million in sell. So literally buyers are dominating there. Or you look at this one. 58,000. Now, the volume is too low. As of now, it says 58,000 in buy and 35 in sell. So spending a little bit of time gives you an advantage, an added advantage in this market to see where buyers are crushing the sellers. Some of them are, right? So this opportunity you should be looking at based on where the breakout level is, where your measured move is, where your target range is. Now, skim your profits at that time. There is no exception to that. So basically, yeah, XRP is looking good. We are making all those things which we want to see, the bullish reversal structure. I mean, few of you may remember, we talked about this possibility. XRP does this, right? We talked about this possibility. XRP does this, right? We went as back as possible in this asset, showing you each and every time we have done this, there was a follow-up move. So if that's happening here, I'm happy to see a macro breakout just as we described. The short term, the medium term, the macro, all of those are coming in. Only for those who have the patience and discipline to ride this wave. So guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, consider doing that. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.